Welcome back to RealVacantLand.com. This is Luke Smith, and making another video, sending out some more offers, mailing out cash offers to buy land. Just keep trying to buy land, buy land, buy land. I'm gonna give away some land tonight, so anybody that's listening who hasn't won before, who doesn't work for me or with me, stick around towards the end of this video, and I'll give some land away. Somebody can answer an easy question. Looks like the lights are coming on here and it's streaming. We'll see if anybody comes into this video. So I've been studying land, looking at different areas, looking for little spots that might be a little bit cheaper than classic Southern California coastal prices. And so kind of in between San Diego and Los Angeles, and behind a military base. So it's a long drive out to the beach, but not so far back that you get into the dry deserts. There's a town called Fallbrook. Fallbrook's got some little streams that run through there. There's pretty nice streams, and they do a lot of, they're known for avocados, and there's a lot of horse properties, and there's good size properties. They're not all these little tiny things you jam a cookie cutter house into. Looks like there's some good schools and different sides of the town. Not the whole place has good schools, but there's some nicer schools in there, and a nice rural setting to raise some kids. So looking at that, studying the area, let's jump into it, see if we can figure it out. Got a couple guys signing in, starting to chime in on the chat. This is what, Night Owl special? Yeah, exactly. This is when I get stuff done. The kids are sleeping, the phone's not ringing. The phone rings all day long, guys. And now we can send out some offers to go try to buy some land. So here we go. Got a couple people online. That's all we need. Give away some land. If we got like 5 people watching, that's going to make it really easy to get some land. So I got California pulled up again. I swear I'm going to mail some other places too. Right now I'm just working my way through California. I'm looking at San Diego County. I've never mailed anything in San Diego County. And San Diego's down here at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you can see it's this yellow one. Should pull up a better map. I'm gonna try to, let's do see if I can pull it up on a map, show you where I'm talking about. So Fallbrook is just blow this map up. So you got Camp Pendleton here. Camp Pendleton is between this area, I'm thinking, and the ocean. So if you get along the ocean, the prices go zinger higher. I live just south of here a little ways, so I could theoretically drive up there and look at properties and check out the topography. I think the topography is going to be the problem with buying some of these. Not that I want to go drive to them all, but I might end up doing that. A little bit higher price ones. So we've got Los Angeles here, we've got San Diego down here, and in between we've got the coastal communities along the coast, which are big money. That's expensive stuff. I mean, the building permit fees, the park fees, the fees on fees to go build on the properties are more than most of the properties I sell. But if we go inland a little bit, we get into, the prices drop off as you go inland, and the weather gets hotter, it gets drier. So somewhere in between, I think there's some good stuff we could look at. Let me kill one of these things here so I get some better bandwidth. Temecula has been a big booming area. It's just across the border from San Diego County. It gets into Riverside County, where the zoning's a lot easier to jam more people into smaller areas. And so they get better economics of developing land up here than you do down here. But down here you get, because like the county line's right in here somewhere between San Diego County and Riverside County. So just south of here, like Deleuze, just a cute valleys back in here. And there's no main roads like in and out. Like a fire comes through, you're totally screwed. Because you got the military base on one side and you can't cut through the military base to get out of there. And then down below you got all these little wiggly windy roads coming in and out of here. So you get some cheaper properties back in here on this part of San Diego County. That's beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous valleys, there's streams flowing through there. and you can grow just about anything, from flowers, tropical flowers, to fruits and vegetables. I mean, it's really good gardening community. I mean, not that the soil's good, but the temperature, climate, it's really good to grow all kinds of stuff. You have to make your own soil. And here's Fallbrook. So this is the downtown Fallbrook, but I'm thinking this whole general area west of the 15, because as you cross over in the Rainbow, prices drop off as you get closer to, I like this valley here too. Maybe that's a different mailing along San Pasqual Valley, but this over here is different, valley center kind of stuff. It's different price, it's different people. I think over here it's a little more eccentric, and I think that's the kind of stuff I'd like to target. South of there, you get into Bonsall, prices start going higher. The schools are really nice down here, and then as you go south, the prices drop off a little bit, but then they go back up towards the coast. And so I think this is it. We're gonna carve out some numbers. This land up in here from north of the 76 to the county line, and west of the 15 to the military base is what I'm thinking about. This whole region in here. I'll probably get some people that say they want to sell, but it'd be like some crazy hills, and I'll just have to pass that. Let's see if we can see what guys are saying, what everyone's saying in the chat here. I'm watching the replay, probably one of the last mailers, and you see a new live one come in. Yeah, we'll stack mailer on mailer on mailer, right? We can use the computer, we can mail merge, you got a print shop that puts it in the mail. I don't have to print these things and lick them and stuff them anymore. And so just automating more and more of it. And I got more people to answer the phones, so I can send a lot more mail. I can do a lot more deals, right? Let's just do it. 2 nights in a row, nice. Yeah, exactly. Kids are asleep, let's do it. While I was preparing for this thing, I think I found the skunk from last night. Sucker came walking right out of under the shed, like a foot away from my foot. He was sleeping under there. He woke up. See, I was just browsing. I didn't get a notification. Yeah, so if you're not getting the notifications, you have to maybe unsubscribe from my channel and then resubscribe and hit the bell button, and it should give you notifications. If you've got it on your phone, if you've got YouTube set up on your phone, all your subscriptions will start giving you notifications on your phone. Depending on if you have noise and vibration and stuff set up, it'll give you those kinds of notifications. But there's a lot of different ways to get notifications and different settings, however your system's set up. He says, I take the hills in Camp Pendleton, then the sand fleas in Paris Island any day. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, there's some beautiful hills in Camp Pendleton. It just burns. Like the whole place burns down every couple of years. I mean, you're gonna have fire dangers back here for sure. I'm laughing about it. It's probably not a laughing matter, but I mean, it just happens. I've driven through this whole area at different times, and it just burns down. That's part of the climate. It burns down. The bushes are used to it. The trees, what's left of them, they're used to it. It just happens. Get some insurance. It's gonna burn down. Just be ready. Got to have a plan. If you have horses, you better have a heck of a horse trailer to be able to get them all out of there. That's like just part of it. So let's pull up. I was messing around with Zillow, and I know Redfin covers this area too. We should probably mess around with Redfin some, look at the market. But I had Fallbrook pulled up. This version of Fallbrook has going way up here in the Deleuze over to the military base. It's got past the 15 over here in Rainbow. Excuse me. So cheapest lot on here, 76 days, 10 acres, $60,000. I was looking at this. It looks like a hill. Just like some hillside. Good luck. Good luck building on it. I mean, being able to move the dirt around, you got to get all kinds of major use permits to go. There's your hill. It's just friggin' hillside. Like, you're not going to use it. Maybe there's some little trails in there. The bureaucratic mess to be able to move dirt around on a steep hill, it's not worth it, because this is fire zone, right? So you got to get permission from the fire the fire dudes to come out and make sure you got all your setbacks and you're not like messing it up for the fires. And yeah, the whole fire gamut stuff's gonna mess with you on the hills. Permitting's gonna be a disaster. This one looks like it already burned down. I was looking at this. This one's on a couple different websites. $69,000. I mean, it looks like it burned down once upon a time. There's some trees. This looks like Santa Margarita River Valley. They got pomegranate trees. Looks like they're going off there. Someone did some nice stonework. You have to fix up where there probably used to be lights that burned off. I think the problem with this property is there's no legal access. I was researching this one earlier. So you're like going through government lands like the riverbed to get to the property. And so it floods when it rains, and there's no legal access. And I think you need legal access to get a building permit. So the house burned down, you can't build a new one. Even with the insurance money, you can't build a new one. You'd have to just wing it and go for it without permission. Or California, you've got court process you could take it through. I was thinking of maybe picking up that property and trying to run it through the court process, try to get legal access, get the judge to give you legal access. I could do that if I set my mind to it. This is another hillside stuff. But I think if people get my offers and they go look at what's for sale, they don't know the particulars about the property as well, like the hillside crazy permitting mess and no access permitting mess stuff. And you start getting, here's 2 acres, 90 grand. This might have some usable land. Houses in the area. Give you an idea of what kind of stuff. This might be hillside. It looks like they carved off the side of a hill, huh? Yeah, wow, look at that driveway. Don't load your truck up with a bunch of bricks for your house. You drive up the driveway, they're just going to fall right out the back. Better strap down your washing machine. I mean, everything's going to move. Groceries, drive up that driveway. There goes the milk. At least you're never going to have to worry about ice trying to get up the driveway when it's frozen. Someone's asking about water. Will they let you have water for a garden? Yeah, so there's all these crazy ideas about water in California, and you can't flush your toilet the same day you wash your clothes or whatever. I don't think it's as crazy as the news makes it out to be. In my opinion, water in California is very political, and people don't want to pay for it, and they want the government to pay for it. And so they need more infrastructure because there's more people than the infrastructure that's there. And so it's an emergency. It's an emergency. We got all these people living in the desert. We need more water. We need to ration it. We need to come up with rules and regulations and everything else. What we need is more infrastructure to move more water, process more water, get more efficient with the water that we use. I think people are coming around a lot more to rainwater capture systems. I mean, there's a lot of water in California. It just hits the roof, hits the driveway, hits the street, and it rushes out to the ocean. We don't collect it. We don't use it. We don't put it to work. It just hits the hardscape and goes. And if we work on that infrastructure on our own properties, we can capture enough water to get through the season, to get through it, if we have enough room and we're wise about it. So I think the people that are stuck in like the cities and, condo or something, and, they're trying to support grassy lawns and just being stupid about their water. I mean, yeah, they're going to have the worst part of it. But I think if it's, excuse me, if you get smarter about your water, you tank it up, you get one of these, what's that system? There's one here, I think it's called Aqua Blue. Let's see if it's water. It's like, it's a dehumidifier. Aqua Blue. Here we go. Eco Blue, water from air. I mean, you can do these kinds of systems for like drinking water if you really want to. They don't cost that much. For like $600-700, you can get a water system that's like, there's all your drinking water. I mean, yeah, it's going to use electricity because it's running like refrigeration coils to make coldness, and so condensation happens and it captures the condensation, then it runs it through some reverse osmosis filter things. Here's your $800 model. I mean, you're not going to run your garden with one of these things, but total drinking water, no problem. You can run your garden with the stuff you capture from the rain. And you know, Eco Blue 30, I mean, for a couple $1,000 you could buy a couple of these things and some more solar panels. You can get a bigger one. What's this? $7,000 version. I don't know how much. See how much volume this sucker does. 32 gallons a day. That's not very much. I don't know. So there's some different ones. I thought it did more than 32 gallons a day, but you know, I could probably live off of 32 gallons a day, put a couple of those together for a family. I mean, when you're not using it all, it starts tanking it up. There's a lot of ways. This would be an expensive way of doing it. It's going to be cheaper to go drill wells, do rainwater capture. That's not really the topic for tonight. Someone's asking if I nailed it. It's probably referring to the skunk. No, I didn't nail the skunk. Looks like Mars. Yeah, that location. Yeah. Just buy a chopper, piss off the neighbors. Yeah, there's a bunch of like military aircraft and stuff around this base. So that's probably already going to be part of the countryside. Okay, so I wanted to dive into Agent Pro. Same style as last night's mailer. I'm going to pull up, got San Diego County, and I'm going to go, here's Bonsall, here's Winter Warm, here's Fallbrook. So we're going to go into the Fallbrook area. I'm going to go up here to the top corner of this thing and start writing down APN numbers. So we got 101, 110, 0200. So I'm gonna put this 101 in here, and I'm gonna see like what book. So this is gonna be the book, right, for the APN number. We were talking about the last mailer, what the logic of these numbers are. A couple of these are way over here. I don't know how you'd access those things, but okay, so the 101s, they start up there in the top, and let's see where they end. There's some good looking properties. This is Deleuze. So the 101s, I'm going to do the 101s. I'm going to start my list. Let's see what 102 is. See if they're logical like that. So we're still up in Deleuze. We're still up in the same area. Let's see where the 101s end. Some good looking properties in here. I mean, there's roads and people actually growing stuff. Here's the 15. There's rainbow on the other side. Okay, so the 102, I like the 102s. 103 probably starts going to the other side of the freeway. Deleuze, yeah, still good looking properties in here. There's a whole bunch of them. It's north end of Fallbrook, north end of town. Let's see what the rest of the 102s are, or the 103s, I mean. A Berkey water filter. Yeah, exactly. Berkey can do your drinking water through there easily. You don't need any electricity. This is north end of town, huh? Yeah, so it starts getting in the neighborhood, but there's some on the side of it that look good. 103, 104. Let's see if it lays out that logical. Where the heck is this? Okay, so this is town. Let's see, what's the end of 104? We're still in town. 104 is just a bunch of town stuff. So let's scratch 104. Let's try 105. Let's see if that's the rest of town or if that starts getting into the countryside. I'm not going to mail the town. There's north side of town, some good looking size properties. Going into town. So part of 105 looks good. We'll scrape out the town ones with the size of the lot. So let's try 106s. Where's the 106? We're in town again. Let's see where the 106s end. These look like smaller house lots because there's a house on a lot and these ones look smaller. Looks like I'm going to build my house here and sell off all the neighborhood to pay for it. That's a good way to go. Okay, so 900. So it started in town, ends in town. I think I'm going to skip the 106s. Let's try 107. These are houses. So I think the 107 is all in town as well. Let's try the 108s. All right, look at that. There's some water for you. Public Utility District. Land to Sea Conservancy. I bet you they don't sell land to me. I mean, that's on the right side of the freeway. It's 108. Try 109. Okay, now we're getting on the wrong side of the freeway. I'm going to scratch 109. Let's see if it goes all the way out. I mean, I think that other side of the freeway is just, it's a different mailer someday. Get some totally different land prices out here. See if 110 goes back and starts over if we just keep going further out in the middle of nowhere. That's the wrong area. 111. Yeah, we're going further and further out. So let's see what else we can find over here. Just click around. So there's a 102s, 102, 103. I mean, we already got all this. 105, 102, 102, 102, 102. Okay, let's see the south side of town. 104. Kind of wondering if I just do mail the north end of town, do different pricing on the south end of town. So I think it's higher prices in the south, bigger properties in the north. I kind of want to hit the north first. So 101s. Yeah, 105s. I think I might have them all. 101, 102, 103, 105, 108, 109. 104, 6, and 7 are just towns. Or what was 104? Yeah, it's just town. I mean, I could do 10 everything up to 109. I get town, I get the countryside, and I stay west of the freeway. I think it covers that whole area. But I didn't really get down here into like winter warm or this side of town. What are these? 107s. 108. 108. I guess I did get the 108s. 108. 108. Let's just circle through here and see what happens. Here's a 125. 125. 124. 124. 124. 123. 121. 121. Let's try 121. Sweep up the south side of town. I mean, if we're doing a mailer, might as well mail it, right? 21, 122. Saying, like the late night live. Thanks, Peddling Profits. We're going to swing for it. There's hardly anybody on this call. It's perfect time to get some free land. Hardly any competition. Fallbrook, known for avocados. Exactly. Is live around avocado. Yep. 122s. This is all like tomato country. They grow a bunch of tomatoes in here. I mean, I'd buy that stuff if they'll sell it to me. 23. We'll sweep up the south side of town too. 24. 25. Let's see where 125 ends. It's kind of nice they got these APN numbers going right up to the side of the freeway. Right at the end of it, right there at the freeway. Look at that. Okay, 120, 24, 125. This 126, I bet you jumps the other side of the freeway, or it goes back down. It's probably the other side of the freeway. Nope, Olive Hill. We're starting to get into Bonsall. I think 126 is, we're getting a lot higher prices. Start getting into different schools down here. I think I should save that for another day. Let's put in the north. See how many properties that is. Maybe add on the south. Excuse me. I mean, I could write my code to reprice the south at a different price than the north side of town. Do that accordingly, and then I could put Bonsall on there and do the same thing. But I think I'm going to do Bonsall another time. So let's go into Real Quest and see what we can do. So I took the mailer from last night and I took out the APN numbers that we had in San Luis Obispo County that we were working on around Atascadero and Paso Robles and that kind of stuff that we did last time. And I put San Diego in here, and $5 and greater property taxes, improved 0 through 1, so I get the vacant land. I got cabin, ranch, residential, residential acreage, residential lot, rural home site, single family residence, vacant land, not elsewise classified. Let me save this search if it'll let me. And then let's run this thing, see what the count is. So this is the whole county. This is not the area yet. This is the county. So it should be a lot of record. Yeah, it's capping out 25,000. This software lets me pull 25,000 records. So there's a ton of properties in San Diego County. It's a really big county, a lot of people. I'm not surprised. So let's start doing assessor parcel numbers. Let's start adding in some of these books that we were just talking about. Let me just put the 1 in there, 101. That's the first one I started with. Let me do that and let me see if it still works. Yes, we're getting 200, and that's the ones that are like, most of that's military base and weird stuff up way up there. I'm looking at the names. It's not a bunch of government stuff. These are people's names because I did that $5 minimum tax. Like their tax bill has to be at least $5 a year or else it's getting cut out. So, you know, government property and stuff doesn't pay tax. So just cut that stuff out of there. Oh, Fallbrook Station LLC. I don't know. Some ranches, building supplies. Okay, so let's add in some more APN numbers and we'll watch the data set grow as we keep adding in more. So I'm gonna do the 102s. It's the book 102 with the county. Let's see what happens there. 500. Yeah, it's going up now. Starting to climb. Let's do the 103s. I'm gonna type a couple in here. I'm gonna put the town ones in anyway, because I think we'll scrub them out. I just want the vacant ones. If we get a town one they're willing to sell me, I mean, I'll hear them out. Figure it out from there, right? Maybe just buy it and sell it anyway. 106, 107. 108 and 109, and that would be north of town. So let's see what the data pool is just north of town. $13K. Cool. Was saying I had to work at Palm Springs today. It sucked. It was like 1,000 degrees. I'm on the East Coast. Yeah, like the high elevation properties in the desert are selling right now. People want the stuff that's like way up there in elevation so they can cool down. 2:50 a.m. in Ohio. There you go. Hopefully I didn't wake you up for that one. Maybe you're just getting back from the bar. I don't know. Beaver Cat Productions saying, I know you buy big chunks of land and split them up, but do you ever buy small chunks and combine them? Yeah, I've done that too. Some places like bigger acreage sells better than small acreage, so it's just change the recipe, change the presentation. Yeah, you can totally do that. TK Dawes, can you get something in New Mexico near Route 66? Oh, I'm sure. New Mexico's huge. Route 66 goes across the state, right? I'm sure there's some in there. Maybe not right this minute, but eventually I could. Ohio, yeah, man. He's saying, can you get some land on the Big Island and Liliani Estates? You know, I mailed Liliani Estates in the past. They didn't sell me anything. Now the place is burning down. You got nasty gases coming out of the ground. The people still don't call me back and try to sell me the land. Whatever. They think really highly of the prices of the land they have there. I bet you it's a nice neighborhood. Probably just can't drive in and out of there right now though. This is a volcano. Wow, I had no idea it'd be this many properties just north of town. It's 1,625 properties in northern Fallbrook. I think I'm just gonna do that. I'll do South Fallbrook another time. I mean, that's like, let me pull up the maps. I'm already gonna be offering crazy more money than I'm used to offering and like comfortable with to buy these kinds of properties. So yeah, let's just take it one little step at a time. I'm just gonna stick to northern Fallbrook, like all this stuff up here, and the stuff down below, like Winter Warm and Southern Fallbrook. That's like 121, 122, 123, 124, 125 books. I'll do that later. Yeah, So I think I'm just gonna focus northern Fallbrook on this one. That should keep it easy. I'm liking this data set. It just looks really straightforward. Doesn't have a bunch of weird stuff in there. Oh, I wonder if I did acreage. I might not have acreage in there. Maybe that's why there's so many properties. I bet you that's it. He's saying wants to buy in North Carolina, where we're looking to buy. No bar. We work online. The midnight shift. Nice. There you go. Yeah, there's no size. I didn't put size in here. That's why I got so many properties. I was scratching my head. I was like, wow. So I want lot acreage. Lot acreage. There it is. Let's do. It's got at least 1 acre. 1 to 45. I don't want the little ones. 1 acre small enough. Now there's going to be like hardly any in the 1600 to 500 or 300 or something. Let's see what happens. $1,200. Holy cow. I'm surprised. I don't see like, let's flip through this list a little bit and see if there's like somebody that owns the whole place. Holding agreement number. Some trust. Ridge Creek Development. I mean, there's a couple that own 4, 5, 10, but not like the whole area is not owned by the same corporation or something. Chris Goff saying, ever get anything in Idaho? I think there's maybe 2 properties up for sale in Idaho right now on the website. Higher prices than I was aiming at, but they still came through on some of the mailers. And so yeah, there's some Idaho. Is lava like a broken bone where it won't break in the same spot? It's a really good question. I know when guys are exploring for diamonds, they use a lot of they look for kimberlite pipes, which are like a volcano tube, and lots of times they'll have 5, 10, or 20 different timelines of when the volcano went through the same tube, and one of them will have the diamonds and the others won't. And so I know in that version, no, that's a different kind of volcano. That's like, what do you call it, like, fraction of a second the whole thing just liquefied. Such like hot stuff went right through the ground. That used to happen a lot more in Earth's past than it does nowadays. Whereas the volcano in Hawaii is a lot slower type of volcano. But good question. I mean, I'm not a geologist. I've studied with a lot of geology and talked to lots of geologists, but I'm not a geologist. You should talk to geologists about it, like volcano geology specialists. What time is it in Cali? It's 1 minute to midnight right now. 5 acres in Colorado. Yeah, there's a bunch of properties in Colorado on the website right now, ruralvacantland.com. That's my website. If you go on there, I don't own any of the ones in Colorado. They're on the website. It's all a couple different partners of mine have been posting properties in Colorado. 3 or 4 guys that I work with have been putting properties up in Colorado. And they just keep putting the cheapest ones in the area up there. They keep selling them. They sell and they sell and they sell. So I'm not sure exactly which ones are up there right now, but it's just because we keep putting the cheapest ones on the map up there, they tend to sell pretty well. And they're doing the same thing that I'm doing here, is filtering through county data and making cash offers on properties to get those properties, and then they put them up there really cheap. Idaho is popular, exactly. Yeah, California, it's too expensive. People are moving to Idaho and they're moving to more eccentric places. They're moving out. So, oh, I know what I wanted to point out. So I was looking at this area, right? And I'm messing around on Zillow. And if you look at the, let's look at the cheapest one, this hillside crazy land. Excuse me. And if we go down here to competition for this home, 2,000 views in the last 30 days. Lots of the times I'm looking at properties on Zillow and it's like 30 views or 100 views or 200 views or something. This is a really hot area. This is a different kind of market. This isn't a seller's market. I mean, this is, people are shopping this stuff. This is look at this is the one that's got no legal access. So most people would just probably get lost in trying to get permitting here. They probably go pay for the permit to find out it's not going to work, and then you got like 3 years till the thing expires and you got to start over again. They probably get stuck in the legal process of getting access to the property in there anyway, and they have to redo their permits. It'll just be a mess for most people. 1,000 views. You know, that's not the second cheapest one's got half as many people looking at it. Third cheapest one here. See if this thing ever loads. 969 views in the last 30 days. My point is, a lot of people are looking at this market. And so if I can put something up here for sale, even if it's a little bit below the market, it probably gets snatched up pretty quick because it's not as hilly and crazy as these other cheap ones out here. 91,000 foreclosure. You know, so it's got a weird title. It's going to be hard to get financing on it. 1,000 views. $100,000. This looks like hillside stuff too. 395 views. So by the time you start getting up there, like 9 people saved this to their favorites in the last 30 days. I mean, those are people that probably get calls. You probably get attention. You know, the market's happening here. People want to go take tours. As soon as it hits the market, you probably got people out there looking at it, trying to figure it out, seeing if that's the one for them. And if I got it priced below everybody and it works better than everybody else, it's gone. So that's the idea. And this area is covered by a bunch of these websites, but I think I know this market pretty well. So that's the idea of it. What I'd like to do on this one is pull the data and sort it by recent sales and see if we get some more information out of that, and study it some more from there. So let's pull this data set before we hang up the line on it. 1217. So I'm just going to do the north tonight, and I'll do the south later some other day, or I'll research the prices in the south and stuff some more before I go do that, or I'll stagger it a bit so they don't all go at the same time. So or maybe I'll make offers in the north, and if nobody gets back to me, I'll be more aggressive in the south, or I can go back and forth, or if I get too many of them, I can be lighter in the south. And yeah. See if this thing loads. Come on, real quest. Here we go. I'm writing down the cost of this. 60. Sorry, I'm just taking some notes for myself. So what I'm writing down, I got this spreadsheet, I'm writing down the data cost. So it's costing me 60.85, and I actually have to pay twice that. So it's costing $121.70 for the data on this. It's grinding its wheels, spinning its show. I think everything's still healthy. All the video, audio, everything seems to be working. I upgraded a bunch of my pipe equipment, so maybe the videos, the streams seem to be a little bit more sound the last couple times. Seems to be working better for me. I haven't noticed any yellows or red lights going off. Talked to the internet company and got them to do a synopsis on my stuff. They told me this is old and that's old. It wasn't even that old, but like updated it. It's amazing what they can do without even coming out to the property. They're like analyzing stuff. 82%. I just want to say thank you, everybody. Thanks everybody that's been subscribing, listening, sharing, pointing out properties, buying properties. I think it's awesome. It's great. So let's download some data. See if I can get this to go. So here's a data set. I'm going to save this thing. Okay, so there's this out towards the end of the data set. This one's got legal descriptions. That's nice. Some of these counties, San Luis Obispo County didn't put the legal descriptions in there. That's frustrating. Lot acreage. Look, there's some 40s in there. A bunch of 40s and 20s. There's some bigger size acreage in this area. It's going to be all the hills. Let's take a look and see what else is in here. See if they talk about topography or anything. They got all kinds of information on the situs. The situs area is really filled in. That's nice to see. It's fresh data. County land use. They've got a bunch of codes on that. The school districts seem to be filled out in this data set. Look at that, they got the legal plat and book filled out in this data set too, so I could even search by plat and book on the, I could get really specific in that. They got maps mostly filled out. They got zoning. I wonder if it's all A. So A is going to be agricultural, R1 residential. So they've got the zoning codes in here, so I could price it even based on the zoning codes. So a lot of this is ag or R1, which either one we could build a house on. It's a bunch of R1 as we get further down. So up north, I think these are the ones way up in the mountains. A lot of it's ag. So you get closer to town, the town numbers, it's a bunch of R1s and ag mixed in. Doesn't seem to be anything else in there but R1 and ag, so that's cool. A lot of this stuff in between data is not filled in. We got land values that they've concocted for assessment land values, property taxes. Holy hell, there's some property taxes. Let's sort this thing. Property tax. $10. You guys want to see what property's got a $10 property tax? Is it an easement? Oh yeah, the road. I don't want to buy a road. Where's the data? Okay. Let's delete the road. Let's go back over to taxes. So let's see what $19 is. See if it starts jumping up here. 40s, 50s, 100s. I mean the bottom one or two that are on here stick out. So let's look those up. I might just delete those properties. The extremes. Probably the rest of that road. No access. I'm inclined to leave that one in. Let's try that $36 at tax one. Oops. It's a stupid property. Yeah, I'm inclined to dump that one. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's look at the crazy high taxes. $35,000. $35,000. Holy cow. So let's see. I mean, just the $5,000 and over. Like if we just cut $5,000 and over, which is just, it's not very many properties. I'd get rid of the 1%, less than 1% crazy high taxes. So let's go back to, say, these ones here. Most likely going to delete these, but let's eyeball them. I want to see what a $35,000 a year vacant property tax bill is for. It's probably like greenhouses or something. I don't know. Maybe it's zoned, like, to be able to cut it up. Yeah, Meritage Homes of California. So it's set to be cut up into, like, cookie cutter neighborhood. So that's probably why the taxes are up there. And this is probably the other one right next to it. Yeah, I bet you this is set to, like, go cookie cutter neighborhood. So let's get rid of those. Let's take a look at what's the low end of these crazy taxes. I don't know why that one's so high. Maybe just paid too much for it or something. That's a lot of tax though. $5 grand for that. I'm gonna get rid of these taxes. Wonder if they know they're in the top 1% of crazy taxes for this kind of data set. They should go fight those taxes. Oh yeah, so the whole point of what I brought you guys here for was to look at what properties have been trading for. I just got sidetracked. That's just who I am. I get sidetracked looking at data and like learning stuff and figuring it out, and you know, see if there's a way to make more accurate offers, better deals and stuff. So there's a lot to learn in this data that most people don't get their hands on or look at, or if they do, they don't care or understand it. I just keep asking questions till I understand it. There's mortgages, people, $300,000 mortgage. Look at this. It's a $2 million mortgage. I don't think I'm gonna be able to buy that one. Look at this. This is cool too. You can see what banks are doing the mortgages. Private ones. Ditech. Pacific Financial Exchange, California Community Bank, Bank of Stockton, Temecula Valley Bank, U.S. Bank, National. They're not the big banks. American AgriCredit. But if you look at who's doing the lending in the area, IndyMac, private, Union Federal Bank. You know, if you wanted to get financing, you could go talk to these. Bank of America hit one. Loan Co. San Diego, IndyMac. There's a couple IndyMacs. U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank's hit a couple of them. U.S. Bank's competing in lot lending in the area. They've reached out to me trying to get me to push their stuff. Fallbrook National Bank. Most of the financing is private though. U.S. Bank, a couple U.S. banks. So looking at this list, I mean, I'd be talking to U.S. Bank if I wanted to go borrow money for one of these lots in the area. They seem to be at the most common name in this data set. But there's a whole list of names there to go talk to. So that's another cool thing about data sets like this. You can go get the recorded mortgages and stuff that they got. And lots of times you can see the rates that they've contracted and when, and like how much they borrowed and when. So you can see the DTI, debt to income stuff, and you can see what the banks are doing, because they'll tell you one thing but they're actually doing something else. So if you look at their public data, you can learn a lot from that. So somewhere in here there's a sale price. Here we go, sale price. So let's look at this. Let's see what kind of stuff these properties have been trading for. $1,000 in 2016. So when people call me back and say, "You're friggin' crazy, your prices are out to lunch," I'm like, well, Roger Clausen sold land for $1,000 in 2016. Lilac Valley Ranch, $3,000 in 2000. Thomas Davies here's Thomas Davies in a couple times selling land for $5,000 in 2015. Dorothy Antos, Daly Ross, 6, 7, 9,000. Valley Oaks Partnership, $10,000. There's a bunch of 12s, 15s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, hundreds, lots of hundreds, 200s. Halfway through the data set, they still have prices. Is that $7 million? $7 million. I'm not going to make them an offer. Let's get rid of the ones over, like, I don't know, 400. Let's do that differently. Let's chart this column and then delete some. Let's look at the data. See if that comes up on the screen. I don't know if you guys can see that, but here's Mr. $7 million. Don't know what the heck was going on there. That's probably the neighborhood, like the guy that bought those two properties, $35,000 tax properties. Well, actually I deleted those, so those would be out of the data set. So what's this cutoff? 100,000, no, $1 million would take off a chunk of them. But I mean, I went down, I was thinking 400,000. Because if we look at this data set from the $1,000 ones to the $7 million ones, I mean, this is half of the pool. Half of the pool of properties haven't even traded. So the other half, like, they haven't traded in recent recorded history. So if I take off the top of this, I mean, it's just a piece of a piece. It's not that much of the data, but these people are the ones that get hopping mad when you make them crazy low offers. And they think you're, calling them stupid for paying so much for the property, which, is arguable, probably should. But I'm going to cut these ones out. Well, now to get rid of this thing. Whatever, just gonna leave it there. So Mr. $7 million Highway 395 Resort. I like how there's some of these $1 million properties that have no title company and use a title company. People are always telling me you have to use a title company. Yeah. What was I doing? 400 grand before? So we still got tons of data. I mean, that took it down to 1,080, and I haven't sorted out dupes and stuff. So I think we're going to be down 600, 700, maybe 800 offers by the time I'm done. But I think that's enough scrubbing and looking at the data and stuff. So we talked about where we're doing this mailer and everything, and I think one of the trees that we talked about that grows in this area really well, that Fallbrook is known for. If you know what kind of tree I'm talking about, it grows a fruit. First person to say the name of that tree, that kind of tree, type it into the chat box who hasn't won land before. So 13, cool, you've already won land before. It's different guys around here. So who hasn't won land before, doesn't work with me, for me. If you can guess or remember or know what the tree of Fallbrook is, Fallbrook's where we're doing this mailer. That tree is something I like to eat, my kids like to eat. And the fruit of that tree, it's also in the logo or the thumbnail of this video. And I'm sure somebody, if you just Google Fallbrook, this is like what comes up, this tree, this picture, this thing. So if anyone's listening, the first person to put into the chat box that kind of tree, I'll give you a free piece of land, and I'll sell it for you. I'll market it. Hulu Khan, you got the right one. Did you win before? I always mess up your name. I think you might have won before. Let me pull up my list. I'm doing it on a different screen, so you can't see my stuff. But if you haven't won before, you won. Maybe you're just in a lot of the videos and you've never won before. I don't think you've actually won before. Yeah, pomegranate, that was a good one too. That was on the property. But no, I was talking about avocado. Yeah, you haven't won before. So, Halugu Khan, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching so many of my videos. You comment on lots of these. I'm going to give you a free piece of property. So what I need you to do is write an email to my assistant, Gillian, Gilian, at ruralvacantland.com. Let's see if I can type it. ruralvacantland.com. I'm putting that I just put it into the chat, so you can copy and paste that and send it to, send her the title information, what title you want the land in, your mailing address, so to mail the deed to. If you want me to resell it for you, that'd be awesome. I'll charge you 50% of the profits on the thing. I mean, you're getting it for free. So, if you want to sell it yourself, that's cool. If you want to go build a house on it, send me a picture someday. So tell me what you do with it. Give it to your kids, give it to your church, give it to your charity, give it to whatever you want to do with it. That's cool. It's your land. It'll take me probably at least a month, if not 2 or 3 months, to actually get it to you. Sorry, I'm slow. It's just the way it is. It's free. And thank you everybody else for listening, watching. I'll give more land away. I'll keep giving land away. I got a scheduled call coming up Monday morning at 9 a.m. I'm not exactly sure what the topic of the call is going to be. I want to talk to some of the other guys that are selling land and doing land deals and get some updates and talk about different land stuff that's going on, or maybe just send out some more offers. I mean, that's what I like to do, send out offers and see if we buy some more land, put some more land up for sale, buy land, sell land, same kind of thing. Monday morning at 9 a.m. And thank you. Thanks everybody. Thanks for chiming in at this weird time. And that's awesome. I think it's so much fun to do this. See if I can get some Fallbrook on the books. And if you guys have ideas of other places you think would be economic to go buy and sell land in, you got some suggestions, stuff, I'd like to hear that too. I mean, put it in the comments down below. I mean, maybe it's some place that you really desire to have some land, but what's in it for me too? Like, is there anybody that shows up besides just you that buys the land if I buy 5, 10, 20 properties? And what's the market like? Does it sell for, what kind of price range, what kind of properties are there? That kind of information would be cool to know too. And maybe I'll just keep cranking it up and do some more deals. Maybe I'll get you a really good piece of property in the area that you want it in. And thank you. Thanks everyone. I'm gonna hit the button to turn this off and go do some polishing of this one and get it in the mail. Talk to you guys later.